All right, good morning or afternoon, whenever you're watching. We're going to be drawing another character from Peter and the Wolf, and today's character is going to be none other than Peter himself, herself, whatever you want to turn this drawing into. So to draw this, I'm going to be keeping my paper tallways, portrait style, up and down, using a number 2 pencil. I'm using a mechanical pencil. Make sure that you're holding it very gently in your hand so you make light lines. So don't grab hard, grab soft, okay? And just like always, we're going to be using a series of soft shapes and then tracing some parts to keep them and erasing others to remove them. So I'm going to start by drawing a large oval. You notice the first thing I do is I practice my oval before making contact. Now that I have a good feeling for the shape, then I can start to make contact with the paper. And I've got a light oval sketched out there. Okay, I'm going to press a little bit harder so you can see better, but I don't want to press too hard because I want to make it easy to erase. Next, I'm going to start drawing the features of the face. I'm going to start by drawing the nose in the middle. And to draw that, I'm going to draw a little U shape. You can use a lot of different shapes for a nose, but a good way to start is just a little bit of a U shape. You notice that it comes in a little bit closer at the top, almost like it's going to be a complete circle, but I leave the top open. Next, I'm going to draw a couple of soft curved lines on either side of the nose for the cheeks. I want to try and get those equal distance away from the nose. And on top of each of those, I'm going to draw a nice big oval. That's going to be for the eye itself. Try and get them the same height, roughly the same size. We want to have it more or less symmetrical. On the inside curve of that oval, I can draw a big circle or oval depending on whatever shape you want the pupil to be. And that's going to be Peter's nose and eyes. On top of the eyes, I'm going to give him some nice rectangular eyebrows, give a little slight curve to the rectangle so it's not too straight. And then on the outside, I'm going to draw the ears. Peter's a little bit younger than Grandpa. Grandpa, I remember, had nice big ears. Peter's younger, so we're going to draw the ears a little bit lower. So coming right outside where the nose is, that's where I'm going to draw my ear shape. And I'm going to follow across the other side and draw the same shape as best I can over there. I just want to try and get them lined up so they're about the same size and same location across from one another. Inside that ear, if I want to control the flaps or the folds of the skin by drawing a little curve and a bump. It's almost like a check mark. Curve and a bump. That's a nice way to draw that in there. After that, I'm ready to start adding in the mouth. For this, I'm just going to give him a little bit of a smirk. So not quite a full smile, just a little bit of a slight upward curve, maybe a little indication on the side, and then a little curve underneath that to show the bottom lip. If you want to make it a big smile, make it an open mouth, you can change things as we're drawing. Now, in a lot of the representations I've seen of Peter, he has a lot of hair that's folded across, parted across the top. So that's the shape I'm going to draw now. Now this shows the top of the head, but our hair is going to cover up that shape. So that's just there to help us, but we're not going to stick it straight out the top. Our hair is going to come a little bit down and a little bit over. So I'm going to start by drawing a curve that goes over and comes out to the side. And from the bottom of that curve, I'm going to bring another curve underneath to meet it. That's like a part in the hair, and that's going to cover up part of the head there, so I don't need to have that whole skull right in there shown. From that, I'm going to draw a curve that comes to the top of the ear. That's for the side. And I can follow along the shape of the head and bring a little bump out in front of the ear for the sideburn. I'm going to do a similar thing on the other side over here. So he's got a little bit of hair on the side of the head too. A lot of people forget to put hair on the side of the head, and their people end up looking kind of silly. Next I'm going to draw is neck and shoulders. I want to show that he's wearing a nice warm sweater, so I'm going to come right below the eyes and draw a couple of short vertical lines for the neck. Here's where it gets a little bit tricky. I'm going to draw a curve that goes right across the bottom of those two lines. Right? And at the end of that curve, I'm going to hook it back to come into the neck and behind the neck. Right? So that line, I'm not going to draw the whole line, but it looks like it's wrapping around him. So now we've got the opening of his sweater. On either side of that, I'm going to draw another short vertical line. That's for the neck of the sweater. And then below that, I'm going to draw a couple of diagonals out to the sides for his shoulders. If you have a lot more room, you might need to draw the rest of the body, but that should work for our sweater. And a lot of times we see that Peter might be wearing a hunting cap, so if you want to include that, you can draw a little bit of a rectangle shape coming out of the top. Maybe he's even got like a little bit of a brim of a hat that sticks out with just some shapes, and then a bit of a rectangle on top. Notice I kind of give it a little bit of silly shape up there. Some of these areas like this might be a black band. This oblong oval shape is going to be the brim of the hat. It's kind of just perched on top of his head. A little silly. You can see that in this one. It's got that look. So, once you've got those things in place, you can take your marker or your pencil, depending on what you're working with, and start to deepen your lines. If you're working with a pencil or if you have a pen, then you can just darken the lines. If you have a marker, you can follow along. Remember, we're not tracing every single line. We're just trying to get the major shapes, capturing just one line in every area and erasing the extras. So I use a lot of extra lines when I'm drawing. I have to make a decision when I'm tracing. Which one do I want to keep? Which one am I going to leave behind? If there's any extra details you want to add at this point, you can add lines in the hair if you want to give him a little chin there, or change anything. It's up to you. Once you've got that traced and you're ready to erase, remember to hold your paper down so it doesn't crinkle on you. Erase in between your thumb and your pointer, or lift and erase away from you. Just don't do that to your paper. That's how you end up with creases and folds. Even I get it sometimes. Now that we've got that, ready to start adding some color. Good luck and have fun.